Hello, everyone. Welcome inside the Red Earth Production Studios for another edition of YBMcast, powered by Game 7 Baseball. You know, we just got done with the season. We got fall ball coming up. If you're looking for a fall ball tournament, you're getting your tryouts through, and you got some kids and all that's going on. Check out some fall ball with Game 7 Baseball. They do a great job around this area, metro area. Get your team registered, get set up for fall tournaments. Thank you, Dave and Dave. Appreciate what you guys do here around here. Game7baseball.com. All right. With that being said, also, we always do this. I'm going to plug myself.
Go ahead.
There you go. Red Earth Productions. Justin, who's over there engineering for us right now, just got back working with Midland Baseball down at PBR. You can see some of the videos on our Facebook page. And if you're looking to promote your club, give us a call. We can help you get some video together, set those things in place, help you with some social media that way. Red Earth Productions, LLC, and that is 636-400-3199. Just give us a call. We'll be happy to help. Coach, how you doing?
Fantastic.
Got Coach Perkins on the show with us today, talking a little baseball. Always a pleasure having you on the show, man.
Thank you. It was fun to be here.
We were talking with Kevin Mulder last week, and you guys are going to be heading down. You're coaching it's 2021 future games, but most of these kids are 2023 grads.
Yes. You might get one younger, maybe.
Might here and there, yeah. Right?
Yeah.
And as Ken was telling us, all these kids are uncommitted, so they're really going down there to work and to look and get themselves seen by some colleges and see where it goes from there, correct?
Yeah. I've worked this thing for probably 7 or 8 years. It's the most well-attended event that I've ever been to, that I go to, as far as colleges go. I mean, you'll have guys from California to New York that come, and they're there for like 3 days trying to get into those kids as soon as they possibly can. I mean, there might be 200 big schools there for this event.
That many?
Yes.
Wow.
No doubt. I've witnessed it and I've seen it, and it's very, very impressive. And you know, if you get selected to play on this, you're getting in front of the people. So then it's up to you. So you're coming off high school. You've been coaching through the summer, and you've got you had your summer teams for years. What's different in coaching a team like this? What's the difference? And how do you approach this? You know, it's it's kids some of them you're familiar with, some of them you're not. Yeah.
And you're going into this event, they're looking to, what's your approach with that, Coach?
This one, it's more fun as a coach. Mulder and all those guys, PBR guys, do a great job of selecting the guys, and everybody can play. And it's more fun to be around these guys and listen to them talk and interact, because they've been playing against each other their whole lives, and they know of them probably, but never been in the same dugout with them. So it's just kind of fun to stand around and listen to them talk, and then communicating with them. And as a coach, you're just there to guide them and maybe give them little tidbits about things they can do to separate themselves, and just little stuff about getting on and off the field. Just something silly like that. And it's not silly, but coaches do look at that kinds of things, maybe just help them a little bit with that kind of thing. I mean, we're not going to talk about hitting the stuff. I mean, you can't do anything in 3 days and change a guy's swing. You don't want to do that, And
that's not what you're there for, right?
No, not at all. But I've traveled with Todd Whaley from Prospects, and he's very good about interacting with college guys, because he was a college guy himself. And so we know who the big guns are they're going to be throwing, and that will be more attended because everybody's looking for the arms, So. And
it's always good when you have that opportunity, and I think what you're saying, you're giving the kids advice. Look, we know this kid's going to be on the mound. There's going to be some folks in the stands.
Absolutely.
So understand what you're dealing with, and that's where your experience comes in with these kids. What to expect, that expectation level from those recruiters that are sitting in the stands. Mm-hmm. What are they looking for? What are the obvious things that really make a player stand out?
Well, I think every college guy understands the kid can play. I mean, they know they're 90 plus. They know their numbers, that kind of stuff. I think when we get into the game situations, the first day is the showcase kind of the thing where you go through your 60s and you're hitting and that kind of thing. And then when you get 3 days of games with guys, I think what they are trying to see, they want to see it in game. I mean, you can watch a guy hit in the cage forever, but you'd like to see it in game. To me, and what I tell my guys too is, how are you getting down the line? If a ground ball back to the pitcher, I mean, are you hustling down there, or a fly ball that's a tweener kind of a thing? Are you standing at second base and drops and you look great by getting a double? I mean, I think that's what college coaches look for. They want to see how they're reacting on the field when they fail. If they strike out, how they act. Are they, chucking bats or throwing helmets? They don't want that guy.
Right.
And that's fact. And so you got to have a positive attitude on the say a pitcher. He's not getting the call. Is his shoulders dropping? Is his head dropping? Is he huffing and puffing? I mean, that's a negative thing. They have to have those positive body language out there all the time. Those are the guys that they want.
I think that right there is, you're not the only. Last week we were talking about that particular subject on the show. Matt was talking that he'd been in and was talking to a guy, a recruiter, about a kid. He says, I want to see him fail.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I was like, that's kind of surprising, but I want to see, because just what you said, I want to see how he reacts to that failure.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Because it's important. Everybody, we've all failed. Mm-hmm. We've failed in our jobs at times and things, and you're going to have failures throughout your career.
Yep.
And it is a matter of how you set yourself in motion after that. And I think that goes to a very, in my estimation, how proactive are you as a player, to where your mindset is when you're on the field, you understand that you will fail at times. Absolutely. And baseball is one of the biggest, as far as hitting is concerned, in my estimate, is one of the biggest failure rates in all of sports.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, when those guys fail, like say a pitcher, gives a ground ball to shortstop kicks it. Okay, how does that pitcher react to that? Is he going to say, come on, you got to make that play? Or is he going to say, hey, don't sweat it, we're going to turn two, me and you, we're going to roll it up? That's the kind of attitude guys got to have, and that's hard because the summer ball situation is different from the high school ball, and sometimes they do get away with some stuff that they normally would not.
Right. But you got to have that. And I remember, and I'll say this, it's one of the things I liked when you're listening to pitching instructors. I listened to one of the things and whatnot that when they're talking to the player, do they talk about game situations? And one of the things Justin, when he was in pitching lessons and whatnot, his instructor will always say, if that guy hits a home run, who cares? Get back up on the mound, throw a strike. And he's 8, 9 years old. So as you're going through that was always something, his mentality. Who cares that he hit a home run? Throw a strike.
Absolutely.
If you chuck it at somebody's head, act like that's where you wanted to throw it. And it was always that
it might be merited sometimes.
It was just that attitude of, it's okay. You have to be able to overcome that mentally. And I think that is a huge key when you're dealing with, especially young athletes like this.
Yeah, and the sooner, that's really good you said he was 8 or 9 or whatever, how old. I mean, that's awesome that people are talking to those age kids at that age.
Right.
I mean, I'm having to, work on kids when they get to be freshmen, sophomores, juniors, and seniors. I mean, then we got to say, hey, you got to change your attitude.
Right.
I mean, I can help you get to a college, but I'm not going to help you if you're going to be out there showing your butt all the time.
And that's the thing. And heck, as well as I do, as the competition gets up, there's going to be some guys hit home runs.
Oh, yeah.
You're going to have to face that. You're going to have to face that idea. And I always see when you're dealing in these showcase things, nerves can get the better of you. And I think you see defensive errors more in these types of situations sometimes than you see other things. So how well do you deal with that, and how well as a pitcher or even an infielder you boot that one? I
agree with what you're saying, especially in that big scene with all the college coaches that's been mentioned before. But even when you go to Final Fours, I mean, the pressure is tough on kids. I mean, when I go and get into big games, one thing I tell my kids is like, you're going to make mistakes. You know, I know it's going to happen. You know what the key is? The key is you make less mistakes than they do, because they're going to make mistakes too. If we can, overcome that problem, we're going to be fine. And that is exactly right. And the showcase, I think it kind of helps these kids because they've been to these showcases before. Right. They've been with numerous, maybe 30, 40 coaches are there, and they've been through that scene. So it's not new to them. That's why it's good to go to these showcases. It's not a new situation for them. They know there's guys out there. They know there's guys watching. They know if Cameron Poe is going to be pitching, that there's going to be some guys there. And that big arm is going to bring in scouts. So why can't you stand out?
Be looking to stand out. As you said, I think that's the great point. If you understand, Cameron's on the mound, I know there's guys, I want to be prepared mentally. Focus yourself. And it's something I've always believed in, and it was something I heard. It was my dad taught me these things. I believe in this. The body follows the mind. It should, at least. And I was watching a documentary on the Dallas Cowboys one time, and Jimmy Johnson, of course, the coach, and he's walking through around the field. These are professional athletes, top tier. It's Jimmy Johnson. He's walking through all these guys. The body follows the mind, gentlemen. The body follows the mind. And he's saying and here you have, this is the highest level of sport, and it's the same idea. So understanding, how do you get a 15, 16-year-old to really understand mental focus at that level, right?
Absolutely right. I mean, we've had some pretty good players come through Howe, or some pro guys come through, like Calvin Munson and Brett Graves both got drafted in high school. So when that situation's going on, like my son Nick Perkins and Eli Dilday and those kinds of guys were, there were pro guys around.
Right.
And, if they can grab those guys' attention, fantastic. You're one step ahead, and you got to take advantage of that. And that's where these guys are going to have to do well, this next week, is you just get out there and perform. Have fun. I think, to me, baseball is just, the looser you play, the better you're going to be. I mean, if you're getting uptight and tense about things, most time you will fail. I mean, you have some fun, but
and I think that's. Do you know how to play the game?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So relax and play the game as you know how to play.
Yep.
And again, that starts here in that mental focus, and then go out, relax into it, enjoy the game. Play the game as if you were standing out there and on your field at home. I think, and that's a tough thing. Who can do that mentally? And I think that's where those things, personally, in my opinion, get separated.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, most of these kids are club ball guys. I know 3 or 4 of the prospects: Seth Bennis and Austin Romaine and Caden Peer and some of those guys. They've done this scene. They've been to Atlanta. They've been to Indy. They've been to wherever else, in Wisconsin, wherever else they go. And so they've been through that situation. So I think that helps them. And that's just guys that I know, but I'm sure every one of these guys have been very, proactive in getting out there and playing in these venues and getting up against, some good arms from down south,
Right. Well, and, let's talk a little bit about this. You've got your roster there, and we're looking at some of these kids. You got Addison Smith, who's part of that Liberty team that won the state championship. He's got a shortstop. I saw him play. He's a stud. And so you're looking at Will Libbert from Blair Oaks. Blair Oaks, good quality, and that kid is very good. As you said, Cameron Poe, you're looking at from CBC. Bryson Naputi. All these kids are top 20 rated in PBR's rankings for the 2023. And you're looking, as you said, there's Naputi. You've got Will Libbert, Kai Bennett. That's the young man from down in Kennett.
Okay.
I believe that's no. I'm wrong. I got to go back through this.
Well, Seth Bennis is at Liberty here in
Seth,
Wentzville.
yes.
He's a force to be reckoned with, that's for sure.
I'm trying to remember. It may not be. I thought that was. I could be wrong. But then you're looking at a catcher here. I know you said he's on your roster. Cannon Stuckey out of Lafayette.
Mm-hmm.
Lafayette had a really good year, and I saw this young man he was at that one event there at, I think, the Gators.
At the barn?
Yeah, Sports Barn. And I saw him. He looked really good. I think there was that pitcher. Is Wyatt Brown on your list there, Coach?
Pitcher?
Yeah. Wyatt Brown. I thought I
Yes.
saw that name. Yeah. Here's another one out of Afton, right-handed pitcher, Afton, Missouri. And you're looking at this young man. I'm not going to click on that because I might not get back. Here's Kai Bennett. Kai Bennett's out of Liberty, another pitcher at Liberty. They're loaded. They're coming back very strong. They just won the state championship. They're going to be tough next year again at Liberty.
So is Liberty North.
Yes.
The good thing about
good luck with that.
Yeah, no kidding. we played Liberty North last year. We beat them by one, but that's one of the better teams I'd seen. They were young too. Oh, one thing I wanted to say about Coach Mulder does a really good job of. I don't have to do too much. I mean, because they'll have it down who's throwing what game, what innings, and so you have a catcher that's in the bullpen with them, and when they come into the game, that catcher will go with him, so you stay the same guys. But we know the 3 guys or 4 guys or how many guys he's going to use. They're up in this game, and then they'll leave a lot of times, and the next group comes in and just keep rolling them through. It's a good deal.
And you're familiar with maybe a handful of the players as far as just the local?
Well, I was a little spoiled because my son Nick coached the prospects group last year, and we kind of traveled the same scene last year. When I was doing 17s, he was doing 15s. So we went to a lot of their games, and I got to know a lot of them through that. And there's 1, 2, 3 anyway on there from there.
Yeah.
And the high school kids, I know some of them. But as far as outstate, I don't really know the younger ones because I'm not around them.
Right. So when you're looking at these kids, these younger kids, you're getting some of these kids out of these really good programs, high level baseball players. What are you going to? The first thing you're telling them, have fun, enjoy this. What's the next thing? What's the agenda when you're talking to these kids, when you're setting them up to go out to play this game?
I'll look the part, act the part, be a good teammate, hit the ball hard, throw the ball hard.
That's the old saying. It's a simple game, isn't it?
Don't make it hard. Don't make it hard.
I love it. So when you guys taking off? When's the tournament?
We're going to leave Tuesday after prep camp. So that's going on next week too.
Very good. Oh, that's right. You got with Coach Donahue, huh?
Well, it's all the head coaches in the conference. So.
Right. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully, I know we were going to come out last year, of course, and everything got kiboshed.
Well, we're at the Game 7 place. Dave been helping me. So that's
Very
where
good.
we're at. 7 in the morning, 10 in the morning. Got a lot of new coaches. Be interesting to be around them. It's always interesting when you get a bunch of head coaches in one place.
Well, I'm hoping to get out there with the cameras as we did in 2019. It was a lot of fun. We got a chance to talk to a lot of the coaches out there from the different schools.
Yeah, Zumwalt East has got a bunch of kids, most he's ever had. He's got like 8 or 9 kids already.
Wow. Good for Coach Hill.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. He did a good job with that program this year. They had a good, solid season. They got some kids coming back too.
Good.
Yeah. So
I don't ever see them.
Yeah, and now they're. I think they're in Class 5 now.
Are they 5?
Yeah, they went to the Class 5. They were right at the edge of that. They're Class 5, and so that's. I think it's. I like what they did with the Class 6 personally. I think it's. I think you have those upper echelon schools, the pools,
The only thing I
it's
don't
just
like,
my opinion.
the only thing I didn't like about it was you had a week off. If you win districts, usually you had a sectional game in there and then the
Yeah.
quarterfinal, but you went sectional quarterfinal, so you had a full week off. So you got to really, that's hard. I mean, because you got to replicate game situations in practice to be ready to go. Whereas if you were class 4 or below, you had a sectional game.
Right.
You had a quarterfinal game, and then you get 3, maybe 4 days off max. And then you're playing, and so you're in it and you win. Okay, let's go. I want to play tomorrow.
Right.
When you're rolling, man, let's go.
I think the only and we talked about that, and the only real benefit, I guess, would have been you save an arm, right? But
Yeah.
does that weigh in what you just said there? You'd probably rather just keep playing.
Oh yeah, big school's got 3-4 arms.
Right.
So let's go. Yeah, I just wish they'd go to the pod thing and just make it double elimination or like the colleges do, and I think it would be so much more fair. we can talk about that later.
Yeah, we're going to have Coach back on the show as a regular contributor. We appreciate you coming on. When you get back from that, we'll have a lot to talk about going into the winter, and maybe we'll get into some subjects, right? Might be scary. No,
hope I don't get in trouble.
We'll get in trouble. No, we won't get in trouble. Hey, I think I've always believed this. I believe, if you have a healthy conversation, and that's what I always, if people are willing to talk about it and not get upset just because you have a different opinion about something, listen to it. I'll listen to you, and let's see if we can come to a quality solution that will help everybody move forward in the best possible way.
Yep, there's a lot of issues out there.
There you go. Good luck down there.
Thanks.
We'll be following you.
It'll be fun.
And keep us posted on what's going on.
I will.
All right. Coach Perkins, everyone, thanks for joining us today. We do appreciate it. And again, remember, if you like what we're doing, please hit that subscribe button, hit the dinger, because that's what we do around here. We hit dingers. And everybody, all you pitchers, keep throwing strikes. You hitters, hit them where they ain't. Everybody have a great day in the Lord, and we'll see you next time.